Well, hello. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's had an enjoyable first half of 2022. I'm not 100% sure where the first half of my 2022 has gone, actually. I've definitely been working way too much. That's a thing. However, working a lot is part of what allows me to do stuff like go to see Twice live in concert a slightly ridiculous 6 times. So there's that. I want to say thanks to everybody who watched, liked, subscribed to any of my Twice Tour fan cams. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed them. Whether you were there and they serve as a memory refresher for you or you weren't able to go, but this way we get to share a little bit of the concert experience with all the onces everywhere. So that took up a bit of time in February, following Twice across the country, and then a little bit less time in May for the two encore concerts. Other than that, um, I've been doing a lot of K-pop shopping. I completed my Twice monograph set, which is cool. Um, I filled some holes in my album collection, primarily for Twice and maybe even more so Red Velvet and a couple others. My photo card collection continues to grow at an alarming rate, so that's good. And I have placed what could well be the largest ever Japanese auction proxy order, so that's also good. I'm hoping to maybe do an unboxing with you internets, uh, or maybe even a live stream. I'm not sure, or several really, because I think it's something like 230 auctions in this order, and of course a lot of the auctions have several items in them. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot to go through. So we've got that to look forward to. Other than Twice Tour 3 and shopping, I am pretty far behind as far as K-pop goes for this year. There was a bunch of comebacks in the spring. I have not seen them. There's a lot of stuff popping off now. Hopefully, we can get in on some of that. So the one thing from this year that I was caught up on in a relatively timely manner was Queendom 2, which was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I was only familiar with two of the artists going into it, Kepler from having watched Girls Planet 999, which I've only watched through once. I haven't rewatched it since the finale or debut, which maybe I should do that. And I also didn't watch their debut promotions, so I'm maybe not as familiar with them as I ought to be. But the other artist was Hyorin from Sistar. So I mentioned before, I'm currently in the middle of my third deep dive into K-pop, which started in the summer of 2019. Itzy's Icy is what pulled me back in. My first dive in K-pop was the end of 2012 into 2013. That was almost entirely Wonder Girls and Girls' Generation. At the end of 2016, I came back to see what Wonder Girls and Girls' Generation had been up to in my absence. Apparently, Jessica left. Nobody had cleared this with me ahead of time. I don't get it. But I also got pretty big into Sistar. Sistar was the first group I learned all the members' names, which I know for a 4 member group that is not very impressive. It gets exponentially harder when you get to 7, 9, 12, whatever members. But I suck at names, and regardless, it was an important milestone on my road to K-pop standom. Also, first physical K-pop album I ever bought was from Sistar. Another important milestone. Unfortunately, my timing was a bit off because 3 months later they announced that they were disbanding. So that kind of sucked. I was just minding my own business, and on my YouTube recommended up pops Sistar goodbye stage. Like, oh, what's a goodbye stage? Oh, that's a goodbye stage. Well, that's just great. And so I'm slightly ashamed to admit it, but at that point, I kind of sulk quit K-pop. I aborted my second dive because if your favorite group can disband, what's even the point? You know, which is unfortunate, right? Because there were some good third gen groups around in 2017 that were just about to shed rookie status and, really kick off. Would have been smart to stick around for those. I could have ended up being a once a lot sooner. But apparently it was not meant to be. So obviously I was interested in Hyorin just from Sistar, but also since I had Sulk quit, I hadn't seen any of the Sistar members' solo stuff. So I was interested in running into that over the course of the show as well. So two other groups, Luna and Cosmic Girls, I knew of, but knew almost nothing about. So it was interesting to learn about them. And then the last two groups, VVZ and Brave Girls, I had never even heard of. Apparently, I totally missed the Roland craze from last year. And I know of, but very little about GFriend outside of like the cover special stages that they did with Twice. And I did not know that three members had re-debuted in a new group. So, all very interesting, entertaining, and educational. And, a lot more to dig into. And we've got now comebacks from most of these groups. And I expect the others will be coming shortly. And hopefully, tours for everybody, right? So, I'm already scheduled to see Dreamcatcher, Brave Girls, and Luna. We've got ITZY sales next week and tour quite a bit away, but still coming. And we're still waiting to hear from some other people that I think we'd all like to see on tour in the US. So that's exciting. So that's plan going forward. I got stuff from the spring catch up on. We got stuff going on now to get a hold of. And also possibly some throwback stuff like Sistar that I'm familiar with, but maybe you guys are not as much, as well as the reverse of that, groups that I know nothing about, you guys probably know a lot about, that I should definitely know more about, like Dreamcatcher, Luna, Cosmic Girls, other groups. Stacy, freaking Stacy. Last October, when I found out why Black Eyed Peas stopped producing songs for Twice, I was like, oh, maybe I should check out Stacy. Well, maybe I should check out Stacy. So we'll have them on the list somewhere. So the record to beat is 0 videos in 6 months. It's a lofty goal, but I think we can achieve it. I hope. We'll see. I've got 2 or 3 videos, I think, that I recorded the beginning of January and then just did nothing with. They're still on the hard drive. I'll take a peek. If they're not total garbage, I'll try and get them edited and uploaded as well. Do not be alarmed. The Twice Christmas poster will be back up there on the Closet of Fame. You did not have a stroke and miss the rest of 2022. That's just me being 6 months late with a video. So it's okay. Speaking of the Closet of Fame, since we talked so much about Sistar, I figured it was more than due time for me to get the Sistar posters up there finally, since they're, like a founding cornerstone of my K-pop education. It seemed only fitting. So they're there. They'll be hanging out with us for the foreseeable future. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out, as always. I'll see you guys in the next video, which, spoiler alert, today is Imnayan solo day. So in a hot minute or so, I'll start recording that video. So that's the next video I will see you guys over in. Yes. Okay. Thanks again. Bye.